Wow. That was
There's no
I
way.
feel like those questions went boom, like little bit, little step, and then skyrock.
I'm not going to get this one. I already know. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Performer Stuff's Thank You 5.
And if you're ever looking in need for those audition materials, such as a monologue or an amazing audition cut with sheet music and piano and vocal tracks, check us out at performerstuff.com.
All right, David, today we're going to be talking about the differences between drama and comedy.
Oh, what a fun topic. Do you feel like you're more naturally comedic or more naturally dramatic?
Oh, 100% comedic.
Really?
I would prefer a comedy over a drama any day.
So do you feel like you've done more dramas or more comedies?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, way more. I mean, I'm mostly versed in musicals versus like straight plays. So most of the musicals and stuff I do are very funny and don't take themselves very seriously. And if there's ever a drama, then I'm typically the comedic relief in a drama. So I enjoy being in a comedy very much. I enjoy watching comedies. What about you?
I love the dramatic. I mean, I really appreciate comedy. I love improv comedy, like with a passion. So I really have appreciation for it. But if I'm performing, I would rather do the dramatic roles. I love the villains. Give me a good, complex, misunderstood psychopath, and let me at it,
That's so funny, though. I feel like sometimes villains are the comedic relief.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that's very interesting. Of course, we would be the opposite.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course. Yeah, so have you ever auditioned for a comedy or a drama that you felt like, okay, going into it, your materials really set you up for success?
Yes. One of my first collegiate productions was The Matchmaker.
Okay.
Which, if you're not familiar with it at home or wherever you're listening from, it's the play version of the musical Hello, Dolly.
Okay.
So Hello, Dolly, just without the music.
Yep.
And when we were doing the auditions, we had to decide which role we were going in for. So
Okay.
it was not open in the sense that we could perform anything. The directors specifically said, if you're going in for this role, this is what you need to prepare.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play Barnaby Tucker,
Of course.
which I love that
A good
role.
old Barnaby.
Yes. And so obviously very comedic, very side, what do you call that? Side, a sidekick. I couldn't think the word.
Side.
Sidekick.
Okay.
And so I had to choose a monologue that was comedic, but also was kind of a more of a side person to the main character.
Yeah.
And I was told later by the director that it was my choice of that particular monologue is what kind of secured that role for me, because other people chose comedic monologues that were more main character focused instead of showing a support role.
Interesting. Never really thought about that. I mean, in my monologues that I choose, I want to be the main character. So it's really interesting that they would comment on that. I don't know. I gravitate towards comedy. I love like Shakespeare comedies. The women he writes are so funny.
Oh, yeah.
So I have just like, I remember picking you have thousands of monologues to pick from, especially when you're thinking about Shakespeare. And all I wanted was a comedic
Yeah.
Shakespeare or a Shakespeare piece to put forward. But yeah, I typically pair I normally go in with a dramatic song or like a driving ballad. So typically all of my monologues are comedic. I have one very sad, serious one about being like an ugly duckling. And I did enjoy working that piece, but it's just so sad. I just want to like have fun, and laugh. I feel like I love theater because it's a way for us to think, but it's also a way for us to like kind of get away for a little bit. And I think that's why I'm so drawn to comedies, just because it's like for 2 hours, you're just having a good time. And that's like what I love so much. But nowadays, what do you think people are more drawn towards?
I think it may be kind of split 50-50 because obviously people want to laugh and they want to have a good time.
Yeah.
But there's also quite a bit of people that love like the horror shows and the dramatic shows. I don't know. I feel like it's 50-50 to me. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I would agree, but I feel like in the world we live in today, I so much need a comedy.
We need a good laugh.
So I would rather pick a comedy. You know, we're going to New York in a few weeks, and I'm deciding what I want to see. And I think all of my choices are comedies. I don't think there's one serious show that I want to see. And maybe that says more about me than anything else, but I just want a good, fun laugh. And I feel like when you can go into an audition with something funny, it may break up like the directors or the you know, the casting directors or anybody in that room. It may give them like break up their day a little bit. And I don't know, when I sit behind the table, I feel like the comedic monologues are kind of the ones I remember, and they kind of stick with me, just because I laugh. Not to say that the dramatic ones aren't like standouts, but I always like the little break when I'm behind the table.
I love that.
Just get a little giggle in.
What do you feel like is your answer? A lot of people think this, where they feel like comedy can't be learned. You either have it or you don't. Do you feel like that's true?
Comedy's really hard. And unfortunately, I think comedy is a lot harder than drama, personally, for me. I do think it's like very difficult to learn timing, and you know, I think people are just funny. So I feel like that notion of like you either have it or you don't. I feel like it's because some people are very naturally funny and some people aren't. But I don't think that's like not a way. Like, get my thoughts together one second. One second. I think that being funny and learning that timing and stuff can be learned.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like that's through like improv and, you know, picking stuff that's out of your comfort zone. I remember when I was I was the genie in Aladdin in high school, and that scene where he comes out of the lamp, I was struggling so much with the comedic timing of that. And just, I was trying too hard to be funny. And I think that's what like kind of killed it, until the director, like, what are you doing? Why are you trying so hard? And I'm like, you know what? Why am I trying so hard? And by taking that pressure off and just letting it come out naturally, that's where I kind of found the humor in it. So that's why I think comedy is harder than drama. Because you can push it a lot. Like, if you cry, you know, in drama. Like, I don't know. I don't want to not knock it down.
No.
But I'm a big advocate for comedies.
Yeah.
I think they're funny. So, or I think they're hard. I don't like when people say they're not hard because it's a funny show. I think sometimes approaching a comedic piece is more work than a dramatic piece.
So I think, you know, with drama, you're dealing with emotions like anger, hatred, revenge, and those have their complexities within themselves, you know, and you can work in different layers of how that looks. But I feel like another thing that makes comedy really nuanced and difficult sometimes to get across is that comedy, for the audience, there's so many definitions as what they feel like is comedic. Yeah. And whereas a lot of your major categories of drama, people recognize that, I think, more freely than they can with comedy. B. Arthur, you know, legend of the stage and film and screen. She, when she was interviewed about doing her role as Dorothy on Golden Girls, she talked about how she realized early on in her career that one of the most funniest ways that she could get her comedy across is by actually being the straight person and not doing anything comedic. And having that non-reaction to something comedic that's happened, which is in and of itself a way to do comedy.
Oh my God, the dry humor is so funny. People that are just so straight-faced and saying, like, I always think of Sheldon and Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
That kind of vibe. Like, that is so funny to me. Just, like, straight to the point. Not non-reactive. I love that kind of comedy. But it's hard because the person next to me may hate it. and they might want slapstick. So I think you're totally right on that notion that people have very different types of humor. So different comedies are going to hit differently. Whereas like in drama, like people recognize anger, people recognize sadness, people recognize grief. Yeah. And, you know, everybody takes that in a little bit differently, but everybody understands that. Yes. So it's very, and I don't want to say it's easier to connect, but it may be like a way in. Whereas comedy, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I feel like everybody's sense of humor is different. So some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it.
It's so true.
And that's just the reality of it. But I feel like when you're auditioning, regardless of the show, you need to go in with stuff that makes you confident in who you are, you know?
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to auditions. If it's a comedy and you have a really dramatic piece you want to use it, you know? But also like do your research. And that's why I highly recommend having both a comedy and a drama.
Agreed.
In a contemporary piece, and then in, you know, like a comedy and a drama, you know, Shakespeare, Greek, any of the olden theaters, you know. So then you can kind of like take your pick at what you need per the audition. And it's fun to do contrasting pieces where you have one really dramatic piece going into something that's super funny. That's a really fun thing to work, you know.
Absolutely.
So I highly recommend exploring both, but don't be afraid of comedy.
No.
If you don't think you're funny. Whereas if you're funny, don't hide from the dramatic pieces because those emotions are there and accessible.
Exactly.
And I feel like the best actors are well-rounded in both.
And if you're lucky, you might just get an audition for a dramedy. And that's a whole nother conversation to have.
And you know what? On Performer Stuff, I found a monologue that was a dramedy piece. And that is like what is so helpful about the site is that you can put in drama, comedy, and all that stuff, and it'll take you right to it. So I'm so happy you said dramedy because those are hard.
They are.
It's the best of both worlds.
It is.
So
when we say dramedy, is there a particular show that comes into mind? I'll tell you mine in a second, but I'll tell you mine now so you can think.
Yeah.
Mine is Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Bad Boy's a dramedy. It's so serious if you just read the plot of it, but at the same time, it is so campy and fun, and there's such whimsy to it as well. But I feel like Bad Boy is a great example of a dramedy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of my favorite dramedy, and I'm having a hard time. All I can think about are my favorite comedies.
What about, I know it's more in the recent cycle of shows, but would you consider Beetlejuice a dramedy?
Yeah, I mean, there's dark topics in there, especially with, like, the death of the mother and everything. Yeah. But, I mean, for me, Beetlejuice is more of a comedy than a dramedy.
I think it's like...
But the plot of, like, death and grief is all there.
Yes. Because what better way to celebrate death and grief is mix it in with a few jokes. I mean,
isn't that how we all cope?
that's coping at its finest.
That's how I cope. All right, David, we're going to read some stories about dramas and comedies.
Ooh, let's do
it.
All
right. Contrasting monologues. Do they have to be comedy versus drama? From the title, I want to say yes, before even reading the story.
That's kind of a standard, like, industry, like...
Yeah, okay.
You should have, yes.
Let's see what they say. Yeah. I'm auditioning for classical acting MFA programs and wanted to get some perspective from other actors who've been through this or have sat on audition panels. Not looking for recommendations, just advice. Okay. I keep seeing advice that says you need contrasting monologues. So a lot of people end up doing one comedy and one drama. What I'm wondering is, do you have to do comedy versus drama? Or are committees more interested in contrast of energy, emotional temperature, vulnerability versus strength, or in how an actor thinks through the text? For example, would a vulnerable, quiet, dramatic monologue with little movement paired with a strong, fiery monologue with a lot of use of the space still read as good contrast, even if neither piece is clearly funny? Would love to hear how people think about this. Well, after reading this, I do think a quiet, dramatic monologue paired with a really big movement piece is contrasting, without a doubt.
Yeah.
in that case, I don't know if it has to be funny.
Yeah.
If you're going to really pick two very, very different types of monologues. But I like it when it's funny.
Yeah.
I think it, shows two different sides of who you are as an actor. But, a little small, vulnerable moment piece versus a very big, like a Greek speech piece.
Yes.
That is contrasting. And I feel like you could get away with it, but you really have to be smart about how you do it.
I agree. And I think they had a great keyword in there, which was contrasting energies.
Yeah.
It obviously kind of builds itself in when you do a dramatic versus a comedic. There's obviously a difference in energies with that.
Absolutely.
But I do think there is a smart decision that is made if you are able to portray a different type of energy between characters. And again, we talked about the nuances of comedy, drama, dramedy. You may be having a director that is going to potentially cast you in a role that has been traditionally dramatic, but maybe they're wanting to add a little comedy into that role, and vice versa. And so you never know, but I do think it is smart to have some sort of contrasting energy in audition piece.
I kind of like that. And I think like going, people nowadays are just accepting who they are more instead of what the standard industry or the industry standard and what people expect. So, from the title of the post, I would say, it has to be, but I do love this contrasting energies.
Yes.
Do you want to read one?
Let's do it. I'm excited. Let's see what else we have here. How do I make my acting more comedic? I was cast in my school play Noises Off as Dottie.
Okay.
The problem is, I have no previous experience in plays and have no idea how to add comedy to my acting. I can act just fine, but actually finding the comedic moments is what I struggle with. I recently saw the touring cast of Hamilton on Broadway in my area, yay, and they seem to be able to make actions, lines, or lyrics that wouldn't usually be funny absolutely hilarious. Is there something I'm missing? Like a secret recipe? I understand that timing and the way one says lines is important. Noises Off is an extremely physical show, and I feel like that's one of the things I struggle with the most when it comes to acting. I honestly didn't even think I'd get cast, but now that I'm the, and in quotes, comedic centerpiece, as described by my director in the callback information list of the show, I'm feeling the pressure, and I'm absolutely terrified of disappointing my director, as this is the first time that I've worked with her. If anyone has any tips, it would be really greatly appreciated.
Okay, first things first. If you are wanting to talk about something with your director, do it.
Yes.
So my first piece of advice for this person is, first of all, you can do it. Okay. But I want to say that goes without being said. You're cast in a role for a reason. They see that you can do this. You have potential. They believe in you. So don't doubt yourself. You're in the role for a reason.
Agreed.
That was not supposed to be my first point, but I had to say it. Yes, I'm going to say my second point is schedule 15 minutes with the director.
Yeah.
Say, hey, next rehearsal, can we come, 20 minutes early? So I would love to sit down and talk about some of these scenes and really go through. You got to do your homework, go through, say, I'm really struggling with this, or I'm not sure what this should be, and sit down with the director. That's what they're there for. They're there to help mold the piece. And if you're not feeling 100% comfortable or all you're just unsure, that's what they're there for. I feel like it's the notion nowadays that directors are scary to approach and you don't want to bother them. When I've directed, I want to be bothered. I want people to ask questions. I want people to be able to come to me and say, hey, can we sit down and talk about the character?
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of putting a show on. So I want this person to be confident, go to the director and say, hey, I think I may need some help or may need some guidance on how to prepare for this role. I think that's totally acceptable.
Yeah, I agree. And I think her reacting to Hamilton the way that she did.
Yeah.
So I've seen Hamilton many times, many productions of it, and I know the moments I would assume she's talking about. And the one I can think of a lot is right before they get into the party and the wedding scene.
Yep.
The boys are talking about the girls and everything, and they're like, hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
And those kind of moments, and I feel like my comment to that is they're just having fun.
Absolutely.
And when you're relaxed and having fun and just bringing, yes, the character through, but authentically through you and your process, sometimes just you having fun brings a comedic element to maybe something that isn't designed to be comedic.
Yeah.
And I feel like that Hamilton's a great example of that, where
Yeah.
they're just relaxed and
Having a
fun.
good time.
I will say, I'm sure that the director was meaning as a compliment that they are the comedic centerpiece.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that as a bad thing.
No, and I would say for the actor, no matter what your director tells you or the expectations, just stay in your process.
Yeah.
Stay in your process. And I feel like this is a good example too for directors and producers out there. When you're talking with your creative team and your actors, just be aware that what you say can have an impact on them, especially if they're young and new actors. I feel like telling this one that they're the comedic centerpiece of the entire production, that has a lot of weight
Yeah.
on their shoulder. But I would just say, just relax, have fun with it, be yourself.
You said this one thing, and I can't stop thinking about it. And it's, hey.
Hey, 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 hey.
Woo! We're going to do a whole production of Hamilton right here on this stage. Just the
Hamilton.
two of us. It's just going to be me saying,
Is it
hey.
you,
hey,
you, me, and then
hey,
sock puppets
hey.
to bring in the extra ensemble?
Sock puppets?
Yes.
I don't know about that. I think I could play I think I could play every ensemble member. All right. Read the next one.
All right, next story.
Hey. Hey. Okay, I'm sorry.
My drama teacher gave me and my friend a script we didn't like.
Oh, no.
And I don't know how to ask for a different one without sounding rude.
Okay.
So basically, in a few months, my class is going to a 5-day convention to compete against other schools in things like sports, writing, art, and drama and theater. It's cool that
That's
it's
fun.
all...
Drama and theater's included in that.
My friend and I decided we wanted to do a dramatic dialogue, basically a 2-person play, for this convention. Unless someone is able to write their own script and get it approved soon enough, the teacher will assign a script.
Okay.
My friend and I were planning to write a script, but due to things like the rules and requirements for writing a dialogue script, we couldn't be creative enough to write a script and had to be assigned one. When I was given my script, I began reading through it and read that it was supposed to be a funny skit between a salesperson and a business person, where the salesperson is trying to sell a giant pearl for the business person's collection. As I read about this, I thought, oh, this is perfect. My friend and I love performing comedy, so I think we'll nail it.
Okay.
But as I read the actual script, there was not a single piece of comedic material in it at all. It was basically the business person offering more and more stuff each time, and the salesperson saying it wasn't enough. First, the offering was all of his money in the bank, which was around $500,000. Not enough. Then he offered his house and his car. Still not enough. The dialogue then reaches a point where the business person sells their spouse and children. Wow.
I'm laughing.
I know,
think that's
like,
funny. I'm
that's
sorry.
wow, yes. But somehow, after the wife and kids, still not enough. After the business person basically has nothing left, not even their clothes, well, that's the salesperson accepts the deal and says that the business person can basically keep all their stuff, but has to give it to the salesperson whenever they ask. I personally found the whole script ridiculous, and I really hate it.
Oh.
My friend doesn't like it either. Does anyone have any advice for how I can tell my drama teacher that my friend and I would like a different script? She's already really stressed about finding scripts for everyone in the class, and I really don't want to sound rude or stress her out even more. Okay, so I think going back to what you said in the previous story, if you want to tell something to your drama teacher, find some time, ask, talk, have like open communication.
Yeah, and if you really want to do something, then bring something to them.
Exactly. That's always a great thing to do.
Yeah, like have a backup. But I think this is funny.
I think it's really funny,
I think it's how you approach it.
Yeah.
I mean, the writing may not be funny, but the whole idea is so ridiculous that I think it is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, to sell your spouse and your children.
And your clothes. Like,
I don't know. There's something about the spouse and children for me. That's funny. Like, that's like you cross a line. Like, you would never offer them. So then, for me, that's funny because it would be so ridiculous as to offer your spouse and your children. But that's just me.
I think this goes back to what we said earlier in this episode about how comedy is different for different people.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think maybe this person and their friend, this is just not the shtick that they enjoy with comedy.
And I also think it's like expectations. You know, like they're going to read the script, especially in school when you're young. You don't appreciate what's given to you in a way because you look at it and you're like, this is not what I wanted.
No. So there's a couple comments.
Oh, let me see. Let me see.
There you go.
I want to read them. Have you talked to the teacher about the script? Mm-hmm. Not about changing it, but what it means, how to perform it. I was on a team like this in high school, and once a piece was picked, and I was always given coaching on it by a teacher. There were a number of pieces I didn't like when I first received them, but after talking to whoever picked it, there was always a reason it was picked, and that I, as a teenager, didn't always see or pick up on it first. Sometimes that reason simply was they thought I'd do it well or that it would play to my strengths even if the script itself was weak. I obviously haven't read this script, but I can see a number of ways that it could be performed based on the description.
Yep.
My suggestion is talk to whoever gave it to you to see if there's something you and your partner aren't picking up on. If you still dislike it, then be prepared to find your own piece to suggest, as your teacher may not have the bandwidth to find something new for you. And also know, if acting is your passion, you aren't always going to like the script that you'll perform. And as long as it doesn't cross some moral, physical boundary for you, that's okay.
Yeah.
I've honestly learned more from some scripts I hated than ones I loved.
Yeah.
This comment is yes.
Yeah, 100%. I have no comments to the comment.
I had a monologue given to me in college, and I was like, what the heck? Was an older lady. The monologue was an older woman. She smoked. Her boyfriend was in the hospital. And it was going through this whole thing, and I was like, I don't see myself in this at all.
Yeah.
But, you got to take what you're given and, put in the effort to try to make it something that, like, you believe in. I love this comment. Be prepared to bring it. Have you talked to the teacher? I think this is funny, the script. Let's see the second comment.
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge the notion it's not funny, just maybe the style of comedy you're not accustomed to. Hey! From what you've described, it sounds like it's a duo consisting of a straight man and the foil. Gene Wilder and Mary Feldman and Young Frankenstein are a great example of this duo.
Yes.
Mwah! I'm also reminded of more British humor.
Yes.
One of the things that makes it work is, as ridiculous as the circumstances are, the foil making the suggestions is treating this as it's normal, giving away your spouse and your children. And the straight man gradually gets more confused and frustrated because who in their mind would offer children and your spouse? I think that's so funny. If you insist on getting a new script, then the suggestion to bring her a different script for approval could yield the results you're looking for. However, if she declines to make you stick with what you've got, do consider that style of comedy. Maybe consider it a test. Ooh.
That's...
to see if you can do it. I love it.
I think it's good too.
I think it's great. I mean, again, I think it's funny. I agree with this comment. If you want to bring something new, you have to prepare and have a reason why.
Yeah.
Why diss this piece but bring a new piece? But I think, if you work hard, I think it could be super funny.
I agree.
Game show time.
Is it time for a game show? Woo!
Are you ready? Yoshi!
Yes.
Yahoo! David.
Yes.
Are you ready to play some trivia?
I am so excited. How's this going to work?
I'm going to give you a question.
Cool.
You have to try to answer it.
Okay.
and we have 3 questions for each of us.
Oh, nice.
Total. And whoever gets the most wins.
So those that are listening, you can either play along collectively, or if you're going to be Team Hannah, Team David, see how you track with the questions.
There's only one correct team option.
Yes, we know. You're welcome. Team David, everybody. Yes.
I'm probably going to embarrass myself.
Oh, I know I am.
Under pressure. Ooh, Lordy.
All right, and this is theater trivia, right?
Well, obviously.
Okay.
What else am I going to
Well, I
ask
don't
you
know.
about?
If we're getting this from like Guinness Book of World Records or something.
Can you multiply? No, you were a
No,
math
yes,
teacher,
yeah,
so
math.
I can't even
Math.
ask math
Give me
questions.
math.
No math questions.
All right.
Question 1.
Okay.
What is the longest running Broadway show?
Okay. It changed once Phantom left. Or like still running on Broadway?
No, just in history.
Oh, in history?
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh. Is it Phantom of the Opera?
It is.
Okay.
You might say it.
Well, I got tricked because I didn't know if we meant still on Broadway.
It just in history.
Woohoo! 1 point.
I'm so scared now.
Okay. Which Broadway show has received the most Tony Awards?
The Producers.
That is correct. Wow. Just like off the bat.
I don't know how many, but I know it was a lot.
Yeah, then you don't win. You know, it's all good. It's like completion grade. Like once you got it
Once
done.
I got it, I'm
yeah,
done.
don't-
If somebody in
don't
the
ask.
comments could tell us how many they won and how they were nominated, that would be really
That would be
helpful. I
really
mean, I
cool.
could Google it, but you guys are smarter than Google. Question number 2 for
All
David.
right.
Which musical features a helicopter on stage?
Miss Saigon.
If
this
you've
one-
never seen the helicopter,
Ooh.
look it up.
It's fantastic.
Like,
Iconic.
how cool.
Iconic. It's the chandelier. It's the, it's so many other, it's the snake from Beetlejuice. Like it's everything.
So fun.
Yes.
Nailed it. Good job. Miss Saigon's hard.
All right.
And I just have a feeling this is going to get worse from here.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Okay.
The Music Man features how many trombones leading the big parade?
76 trombones. Dun, 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 dun.
Bump. Yes, correct.
I only know that because I did this song in my musical theater class when I was in elementary school.
Oh, how fun.
I don't know the rest of the instruments, but I do know there's 76 trombones.
Trombones with 110 cornets close at hand.
I'm really glad you know that.
Yes.
Because I don't. And the last question for David today. We haven't seen these questions in advance. There's no freaking way.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Annie's mutt Sandy has been played by different dogs on stage and screen. But a mix of which terrier breed was the first to bring the role to life on Broadway in 1977?
Oh, what kind of question
I
is-
would not get this one, so this is wild. We're going to give the audience time to think about
What
this.
kind of terrier? Oh, gosh.
Just, I mean, for this one, you may just have to guess. This is a great question.
Well, I only know a few terriers off the just top of my head, so I'm just gonna go with the first one. Yorkshire.
Okay, let's talk about what a Yorkshire Terrier is. You know what a Yorkie
But it's
is,
a tiny
David?
dog, right?
Yeah, teeny tiny dog.
But it was like a
Is Sandy a teeny tiny
well,
little
no, but
rat
it was like a terrier, which terrier mix, right?
It's a terrier mix.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's a Wheaton.
Is a Wheaton a terrier?
Yeah,
I
Wheaton
think
Terrier.
a Wheaton is a Wheaton.
I think it's a Wheaton Terrier.
It was an Airedale Terrier.
Oh yeah, see that was never gonna happen.
Next production of Annie needs to
Wow.
be a Yorkie. That is what Sandy is, everybody. You heard it right here.
Wow. That was
There's no
I
way.
feel like those questions
And this-
went boom, like little
Little-
bit,
little-
little
Bam!
step, and then skyrock.
I'm not going to get this one. I already know. Go ahead. Lay it on me.
All right, last question for you, Hannah. Oh, now see, I knew this one.
Well, if that doesn't mean I know it.
What is the minimum number of seats that a venue in the theater district must have in order to be considered a Broadway theater rather than off-Broadway?
499.
Technically wrong.
I thought it was 100 to 499.
It's
And then it's 500 up for Broadway. So what's the correct answer?
oh well now you explained it. Yeah, so it was asking for the minimum number of seats to be a
Oh,
Broadway.
for Broadway?
Yeah.
500 for Broadway.
Yep.
100 to 499 for off-Broadway.
Yes, see.
So I won for the first time?
All right.
Beginner's
luck.
Can you put a crown? Producer, crown.
Next time.
Next time.
Good
game,
Yes,
David.
yes,
Good
yes,
game.
yes.
Thank you for participating in our first
Absolutely.
ever Performer Stuff Thank You 5 trivia.
And let us know in the comments how well you did with those trivia questions.
Absolutely. And if there's any cool trivia you guys have, we want to know.
Yeah,
So let
yeah,
us
throw
know.
us some trivia questions.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you for joining us
Yes.
for another episode of Performer Stuff's Thank You 5. We're so happy to be here with you. And if there's any
Absolutely.
topics you want to learn about, just let us know. Hey, David, what can you find on performerstuff.com?
You can find all sorts of monologues, audition cuts and bundles, anything that you need for your audition needs.
Highly recommend it. If you're auditioning, go check it out. There's
Awesome.
really some fun stuff. And go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Bring it on. We create some really funny stuff there. So check it out.
Absolutely. And you guys have an amazing day, right?
Hey.
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 Hey. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Ooh.
Ah, woo-doo, woo-doo. Ah.